the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call.
Good evening, everybody. I don't know what happened there. It went back on for some reason. It looped again. So apologies for that. But good evening, everybody, and hope you're well. And before we get into the show, if you like what you see, then please hit the like button. It really does help the channel. So just smash that like. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please subscribe. It's free to do so and helps the channel grow. Also, bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows, guys or girls. Thank you very much indeed. So tonight's show, basically, it's Have We Been Found Out? I've put a poll in that, so please vote on that. And before the end of the show, we'll have a look at the results and see what the outcome was. Basically, are we being found out with our formation now? Is our 4-3-3 too predictable and teams have worked us out? Is this why we struggle against Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Leeds United? To see a few. People are working us out now, I think. But I'll get into the comments first and then we'll get into it, guys and girls. So thank you very much indeed. So Max says, not found out as such, just the quality and squad depth that's starting to show. Yeah, there's that as well. I can see your point on that as well, mate. I mean, we're missing Bruno, and that is the thing. Bruno being out is the one who makes us tick. Hopefully in the summer we strengthen this. Trolls says, evening, Tony. Evening to you, Trolls. I hope you're well, mate. Rolly says, hi, Tony, have a great show. Yeah, thank you very much, Rolly. Hope you're well. Max says, we have a mix of good players with a few world-class ones. We need the ratio of world-class players to increase, but not there yet. More composure is needed in the final third. Again, I agree with your Mag debates, because the final third, we haven't really been firing, have we? And I mean, I know some people are laying the blame with Isak on Saturday, but he didn't get the service. And if he's not getting the service, he was having to come out wide to get the ball, and then he's not in the box. So we need to sort this out, and hopefully we'll have this sorted out by the time Liverpool come on Saturday evening, because who knows? Clippity Klopp could be on a downer if he gets rolled over by Everton tonight, and see we roll him over on Saturday. Could be bye-bye, Mr. Jurgen Klopp. So who knows? Because he'll be on the ropes, I'm sure. Although he's saying when a manager comes out and says he's not leaving the club, that to me shows that manager's under pressure. And Jurgen Klopp to say that today is a man under pressure, and he's under serious pressure. I don't care what credit he's got in the bank of Premier League win, Champions League win, World Club Cup win. At the end of the day, you don't perform, you're going to be under pressure. Troll says, I'm a bit on the fence when it comes to formation change, but then again, change can be a good thing too. Absolutely, mate. I mean, we did tweak the formation a little bit when Anthony Gordon came on, and that sort of worked a bit better. I'm not saying make a major change in the formation, but just sometimes change it up. Just give the opposition something else to think about. Because that, I just think the 4-3-3 is far too predictable now, and people know how we set up. Where if we change it a bit, if we went 4-4-2, for instance, or a 4-2-3-1, you know, just change it up a little. That's that, and just make the opposition think more, and it'll just give them something to think about. Like, I think it was a great idea when Anthony Gordon came on, and he sort of played in that free role. So maybe try that again at the weekend. Yes, we know he can't play in the cup final, which is a shame, but let's try that out. Maybe try another thing out, which was somebody said in the chat the other night, which was, why don't we switch Trippier to left back, drop Dan Burn to the bench, switch Trippier left back, put Harrison Ashby on the right, give him a debut. We've paid $3 million for him. Why not give him a go? That's not a bad shout. So, there's options there. And Trippier can play left back because he's done it before. Harry says, evening to you, Harry. I hope you're well, mate. Sefton says, evening all, don't look up, but we can reach for the sky. Up the Premiership we go. Absolutely, Sefton. And do you know what? It would be great if we hammer Liverpool on Saturday. I know it won't be nice in your household, but you'll have the bragging rights with your wife, Sefton, so you'll be happy with that one, and we shall see. Harry says, if we change formation, it would have to be 4-4-2 with Wilson and Isak both leading lane. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another option as well, Harry. But is Wilson fit for the weekend? That's the thing we don't know. What's the state of Joe Willock again? We're not really sure. Maxi, he could be all right. I don't know. It could be just he was brought off as a precaution. Who knows? But we will see, and we will find out by hopefully the next couple of days. Luke says, afternoon chat. Afternoon to you, Luke. I hope you're well, mate. And David says, who's watching Liverpool Everton? Do you know what? I'm going to put it on, have a watch, because it's going to be very interesting, isn't it? And I mean, if Klopp doesn't do well tonight, I tell you what, the crowd could be on his back, couldn't it? So he dare not lose that one. But then Sean Dyche is in the club now, and the manager bounce might be in the new manager bounce. Harry says, the thing is, we need to find ways to still be a great team without Bruno, because we aren't a one-man team. Absolutely, Harry. That was one thing that I've been saying. We shouldn't have to rely on Bruno. We should be thinking, well, when Bruno's not there, we've got players who can step up and, and perform and get the job done. Teams, and no disrespect to teams like Bournemouth and Crystal Palace and Leeds United, but we should have beat those teams, and that's the thing. But what's concerned me, especially the last couple of games, is West Ham and Bournemouth. Back post, yet again, we have conceded goals at that back post. We've been so tight all season and so great defensively, but the last two games, we have just lacked that little bit at the back post, and we need to sort that out, and I hope Eddie gets that sorted out this week. Troll says either a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-1-2. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what we played when Anthony Gordon came on. I think we went to a 4-3-1-2 to give Anthony Gordon a free role. Sefton says, Wallace has a Liverpool shirt on. Oh, dear me. Well, Sefton, make sure you get your, you might need to put your tin hat on, or you might need to put your suit of armour on, mate, because if Liverpool get beat off Everton tonight, she won't be a happy woman, will she? Joel says we need to stop playing the ball around defence and maybe our forwards will have some space. Yes, I've noticed that quite a bit. We're playing the ball with the defence, and I mean, we're sort of back passing to going forward, and yeah, we should be taking more shots as well from the edge of the area. Harry says Klopp could well be using his redundancy this time next week to buy himself a new set of Nash as well. Yeah, he could be, couldn't he? I mean, yeah, that'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? Gary says, good evening, Tony, and everyone in the chat. Good evening, Gary. I hope you're well, mate. Troll says, Willock is most likely out the cup final from what Eddie has said. Yeah, I haven't seen anything today, to be fair, from what Eddie said. I haven't caught up yet. But Willock didn't look too great, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's not fit for the final, which is a great shame for Willock because, I mean, this is what the guys worked hard for. Sefton says, I'm hoping the club has sent a spy over to Merseyside for tonight's game. Do you know what, Sefton? I'm sure they have, but I'm sure they're watching on TV. Eddie Howe will be glued to that TV tonight, and so will JT, Jason Tindall, Mad Dog. They will be glued to that TV, and they will be watching that and making sure we are well prepared for Saturday. Harry says, would you prioritise the League Cup final over the Liverpool match by resting the likes of ESM, Almiron, Willock, Wilson, etc.? Do you know what? That's a very interesting comment there, Harry. And I mean, yeah, but do you want to lose your momentum in the league? Do we want to lose another game to Liverpool? Not really. I don't think Eddie will. I think what Eddie Howe will say is to the players that are playing on Saturday, you better get out there and perform, because if you don't perform, your cup final place is at risk. So I think he'll send the message out to the team that they have to get out there and play well. And I think we could see a different side on Saturday. But I would definitely be interested with that swap, Kieran Trippier to left back and Harrison Ashby on the right. I mean, guys, I had that the other day in the chat. So what do you think in the chat? Do you think that would be a good move? Trippier left back, Ashby on the right? Give him a go. Why not? And remember, Ashby is not cup tied, so he can sit on the bench in the cup final. Troll says, you have my sympathy, Sefton. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of people who got sympathy for Sefton. Mag says, Gordon and ESM unmarked inside the box. Longstaff didn't see them, just needed a cut back and it was 2-1. Yeah, that's the thing. We're not looking up enough to cut the ball back. And as I said, if we're having trouble breaking these teams down, we need to be a bit more cute when we're doing it, we're attacking, and just get in there and just start getting in there and getting through these defences, because people are going to tighten up. And I think since that Leeds game, that's where people have started tightening up even more, because of how Leeds played against us to park the bus. Fair enough, Bournemouth came out and played a bit, but they did sort of park the bus, the same as Palace. So we've got to try and get around that, and you've got to counteract that. And the only way you can do that is by being a bit more cute and aware and thinking, right, instead of trying to thread the ball through an eye of a needle, let's do it a different way. Let's try and whip a cross in, This is where I said it would have been great instead of Murphy coming on if Richie had to come on Saturday, because we know Richie can put a good cross in the box and he can do a good corner as well. So, Trippier's crossing and his corners have been a bit off lately. So, and Bournemouth have conceded the most goals from corners, have conceded 13 goals from corners this season, and we didn't test them once. They were never under pressure from our corners whatsoever. Gary says it's going to be a funny one tonight. We all want Liverpool to lose, but we want Everton to go down. Yeah, we do, Gary, don't we? I mean, we all want Everton down. But again, like you say, Liverpool, it's a funny one. Would a draw be better? Probably. But it's going to be an interesting game, that's for sure. Even if Everton beat Liverpool, I think they'd still go down. Troll says, ESM was just a knock, but a knock can be painful. Yeah, absolutely. Can be. Seven talking to Trolls. And UFC, I would not put Ashby on the right. He's never played in the Prem, but he has played for West Ham in the Cup. Yeah, he has, yeah. But, this is how youngsters get their chances. That's the thing. I mean, you look at all the youngsters who's come through the Premier League. Phil Foden, Man City. He's had to play Premier League at once, paying to start his place up and get ready in the Premier League. The same as Trent Alexander-Arnold, Calvin Phillips. They've all had to come through academies so, there's no harm. Troll says, players need to be ready for the final, and it's 8 days till the final, so stamina should not be an issue. No, shouldn't be. Absolutely, Trolls. I mean, maybe is the hangover of the cup final as well? Is that having a bearing on why we're playing why our performances have sort of dropped a bit. I don't know. Alan says, evening, Tony. For me, I would not play Isak and Wilson in the same side. Too risky as we have no cover for them if one gets injured. You're very right there. I mean, we don't know what's happening with Wilson. We know it was some sort of hamstring issue. But we don't know if Wilson's fit or not. I mean, if he's not fit, we've got no strikers to cover Isak. The only one we've got is Isaac Westendorf, who we'll have to get from the under 23s. Because remember, Wood's gone. He's got Nottingham Forest on loan. And so we haven't got any more recognised strikers. I know we could play ESM and Joe Linton could potentially go up there, but we don't want Joe Linton up there, do we? Sefton says, Valentine's tomorrow. Yes, it is Sefton, absolutely. Well, depends, Sefton. If Liverpool win tonight, you might not get any Valentine's card tomorrow. Troll says, I would play Isak and Wilson together in the final. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout. Isak on the right, maybe? Who knows? Harry says, if Ashby is to get minutes this season, it would be from the bench. However, I wouldn't mind seeing him, what he could do with Trippier for the final 20-30 minutes. Again, that's another great shout. Yeah. I mean, you've got to give these youngsters a chance. You bring them in, you're bringing Ashby in for good money, £3 million. It's not like it's a cheap bargain, it's £3 million. So let's see what he can do. But like you see, even if he's on the bench, it doesn't really matter, does it? He can come off and, get into that game that way. Even put him on the right wing, maybe for Almiron. Take Almiron off and put Ashby on. NUFC 4-2-3-1 is the only tactic we can go for unless Eddie Parks of Boston goes 3-4-3 to cover the ground. Again, yeah, that's the thing. It's all ifs and which way Eddie's going to do it. I mean, if we need to change the formation, I think we're going to have to maybe change it during the game just to really upset the rhythm of the opposition. But it's the final third where we just seem to be lacking. We're creating the chances, and as long as we're creating chances, there's always a chance for goal. But we just need to have that bit of quality to put the ball in the back of the net. And remember, Isak's just back from a long injury, so he hasn't had a lot of minutes in his legs and games time. So it is going to take him a while to get used to being back playing again. But once he's firing, I think he'll want a scoring run. Trolls says, I fear for the final if we don't step up. Yeah, that's what I said as well, Trolls. I mean, if we play like that, Man U will beat us. Lee says, all right, Tony. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine, Lee. Thank you very much. Hope you're well. Northumberland Jody, all right, Tony. Yeah, I'm absolutely great, mate, and I hope you're well. And yes, see, I took 4 and 3 years getting City's main team. We need to stop rushing kids until they're up to the level of the first team. 4-2-3-1, Joe Linton, Longstaff, CDMs, ESM, Miggy, and Murphy as a winger, Isak striker. Yeah, not a bad show. I mean, we've got to make do with Murphy at the moment, haven't we? So, yeah, who knows? We just have to wait and see. Eddie may not change the formation, but it's always great. We can have these debates and talk about them and see how we can get this turned around. I still have faith in Eddie. Absolutely, Sefton. And I'll tell you what it is. If anybody comes on here and says Eddie Howe's got to be sacked, I will be bouncing, because people need to take a long, hard look at ourselves, because we've had it on social media over the weekend. Is Eddie the right man for the job? And it's like, for God's sake, come on. Look where we were last season. We could have gone down last season. We hadn't won for 14 games. Eddie Howe turned that around, kept up. Didn't just keep up by a point or two, kept up well and truly, was finished 11th place. This season, we're sitting 4th in the Premier League. Some people are not happy. And the problem is, whether it's true Newcastle fans or it could be Mackems for all we know with fake accounts, who knows? That's the thing. But at the end of the day, Eddie Howe is going nowhere. These owners aren't getting rid of Eddie Howe. And the thing is, it's a process. We are ahead of this process. That's the thing. We're ahead of the schedule. Amanda did say 5 to 10 year plan. We're well ahead of that plan. And I think the summer we will be busy bringing more players into the club, and it's going to take time. But I think once we get there, we'll be up there challenging. So we all have faith in Eddie Howe. Sefton says we will turn it around. I'm 100% confident. Absolutely, Sefton. Yeah, it just takes one win, one big win to turn it around, and all of a sudden people will forget what's happened in the last few games. If we went out there on Saturday, and I'm not saying we're going to, by the way, guys, but if we went out there on Saturday and say thump Liverpool 3-0 or 4-0 even, right? We thumped Liverpool 4-0 on Saturday. People are going to say, "Oh, hang on a minute, Newcastle are back, aren't they? Back with a bang." And it's Liverpool who's took the beating. That's what I'm saying. It's just, one, we're just going to strike one team and hit them, and then it's just going to go click back into action. But the final is a totally different game to a Premier League game because it's a one-off game. The form book goes out of the window, and it's what happens on that day. Northumberland, we changed formation on Saturday, and it was awful. We did, yeah. I know that it wasn't that great, was it, to be fair? He says, "Get Bruno back and we'll be fine." Yeah, I wished he was back now, but we have to wait until the cup final. We'll be fresh. Lee says a 4-4-2. Tony might work out. Again, yeah, that's a good shout. That's not a bad shout at all. NUSC, to win this final, you need the experience at field. You can go 3-4-3, bring Lascelles on for set pieces, play wing backs, Murphy trips, ESM, Miggy, Wilson, front three, control the game. I see what you're saying there, but I doubt Eddie Howe's going to play Lascelles. He doesn't really get a look in these days, does he? Northumberland says, we get battered playing just two in the middle of the park. Absolutely. Lee says, Eddie the hero. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. NUFC says, Eddie did use 3-4-3 at Bournemouth, so try control our final play of the game. Yeah, he did. Absolutely. Gary says, sack Eddie out. That's unthinkable, Tony. Absolutely, Gary. I mean, what are people on social media putting stuff out like that? It's just absolute bull crap because there's no way Eddie Howe is leaving this club. That is for sure. If we don't win for the rest of the season, then there may be murmurs, but I don't think that will happen. No, trolls, it wouldn't happen. And, do you know what? Teams can go through a sticky patch. That's the thing. You can go through a sticky patch in a season, but then you can come out of it and you can go on a right old purple patch. And that's the thing. We could go on this purple patch. Who knows? But again, it's something we have to wait and see on. Eddie Howe's Black and White Army. Good evening to you, sir. He says, Liverpool haven't been most away from home. Yep, absolutely. Eddie Howe's Black and White Army, you're absolutely spot on. They've lost to Brighton twice, League and then the FA Cup. Got thumped by Wolves, didn't they? Absolutely thumped. And they're not having a great season, Liverpool, that's for sure. And and nice to see you on my channel, mate. And if you're brand new, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. NUFC says it's the IQ of the front three. They don't want to turn up. That's on them, not Eddie. Gives them a game plan. If they feel they can be cleared out for players who want to win. Again, I see where you're coming from on that one. Mag says, Man U fans singing 2-0 on the Cup Sours. I would love it if we beat. Yeah, I heard that yesterday against Leeds. I just thought, yeah, go on, do that. I think what they're kind of forgetting is they've got to play Barcelona at home 3 days before the cup final. Plus, if it's a tight game at the Nou Camp, and that game at home is what they need to win, and that goes to extra time and even penalties say, then it's going to be a harder game for them and they're going to have less time to recover. So I wouldn't be surprised if they come into the final tired. And And they've got to play Leicester as well. Remember, Leicester just thumped Spurs 4-1. Lee says we need to change the away kits. Definitely Jinx. Yeah, don't wear that white kit again. But they have confirmed, the club, that the black and white stripes will be worn on the final day. So the cup final, we will be wearing our home kit. Troll says, just hope Bruno isn't fired up for the final and gets more cards. No, I don't think he would. I think that's the first red card of his career, I think, as well. Please don't ever say bring back Lascelles, says nothing. No, absolutely not. We don't want Lascelles back in the team, that's for sure. Don't overlook Liverpool. They have more injuries than any team. I know Firmino, Jota might be back for us, so let's not get carried away. Diaz is back now as well, so they have their team. Yeah, but these players, they've only just come back. They've got to get ready again, so... hope we stick it up, Man U, says Lee. Yeah, absolutely. Troll says, Lascelles has been excellent on the sidelines getting cards. Yes, he has. He's been great, hasn't he, getting yellow cards on the sidelines. And that's where he's staying. Newcastle have pressed their hearts out, ruffle the players, but not pressing with the front three lately. They've been really lazy in the last match. Yeah, I tend to agree with what you're saying there. I mean, yeah, we haven't, it's just up front, we've just been lacking something. We've been creating the chances, but we're just not putting that ball in the back of the net. And that's the concerning part about it. Max says he agrees as well. I mean, I'm just going to have a look at the results so far in the poll. Once I open it up. So the poll at the moment is, should we change our formation? 56% of the poll say yes, we should, and 44% are saying no, we shouldn't change our formation. I mean, as I say, guys, it's nice to debate this stuff. I mean, I'm just trying to think what else is missing that we're just not firing for, and it's like we just can't seem to break these teams down. We always seem to have troubles against these bottom teams. I know you've got to look at Bournemouth and think, right, well, Bournemouth are fighting for their lives. They want to stay in the Premier League. Same with Leeds United. They're fighting to stay in the Premier League. But as I say, we've just got to be that little bit more cute. I mean, Pope misplaced a pass the other night. Dan Burn wandered off. I don't know what he was doing with that, by the way. And just thankfully, Trippier was on the line to stop Solanke scoring, because we would have lost that game 2-1. And that would have been through a bit of a howler. So let's go into the Liverpool game with a different game plan. But let's go into that game and let's see us do a lot better. And hopefully we start banging the goals in, because somebody will get a thumping. Northumberland says, I can't think of a team in the league that has an out-and-out number 9 that's banging goals in. No, there's not. Apart from, obviously, Haaland. He's a freak, though, isn't he? Haaland is. But, yeah, see what you mean. Again, Haaland, he could be out the Newcastle game when we go to Man City. Depends how bad he is. NUSC, it seems we drop off the press. It's laziness. Miggy has at least one goal, but that final, we will have Bruno, Sean and Joe Linton in the centre, and that will help. Yeah, absolutely. That all depends. I mean, he could... Well, yeah, because if Willock's out for the final, he's going to have to play Joe Linton there, isn't he? But I would maybe say swap Almiron and Maxi around. So I'll put Almiron on the left and get Maxi on the right with Trippier. I mean, Almiron's got a great left foot, but the only problem is when he's playing as an inverted right winger, he's having to go from his right foot to his left foot, which means teams are putting 2 players on him to stop him doing that. And he's not getting it as much now, where if he was on the left, he can just whip that ball straight in. And I've always been saying, let's have him on the left and give him a go. Give it a couple of games with him on the left and swap and put Maxi on the right. Can't go any wrong, can it? Can't go any worse. Troll says, my biggest concerns of final is Burn unless he shapes up in the Liverpool match. Again, yeah, I see what you mean. You know, is it one of them? Do we leave Burn out and put Jamal Lewis in? Um, can't do any worse, can he? And see what he can do at left back. Max says, can Bruno play behind doors games to keep match fitness up? That's a good question. I think he probably could do. I would imagine he's training anyway. You'd be training with the team, and when they have that kickabout and things like that, you'd be joining them with all that. So I would imagine that's all going on. But I should imagine so. If he can play in behind the closed doors games, I'm sure he can. Harry says Pope hasn't been the same keeper since Che Adams scored against him in the semi. Yeah, I mean, he's looked a bit off at the minute, hasn't he, Nick Pope? But then that could be down to the fact of the defence as well. That could be the way the defence has been a bit shaky the last couple of games. Jake says Manu's going to get a thumping. Yeah, let's hope. Harry says, why did I get put in time out by moderators? I don't know, Harry. I'm not sure. I wasn't aware you were putting time out, mate, and maybe it was an error done by somebody, but it certainly wasn't me, mate, that's for sure, and I do apologise for that. So moderators, please be careful who you put into timeout, please, if you have put anybody in timeout. Gary says, I look back at the 2 FA Cup games, both times we played black and white and unfortunately got beaten both games. Yeah, we did, Gary, but that was a different era, mate. Football's evolved since the 90s dramatically. And do you know what? Let's just see what happens. How are the lads? And Ketya's getting a few. Yes, he is. Need a good goal poacher for the summer, says Lee. Yeah, we do. I mean, I'm sure we'll be busy in that transfer market in the summer. I mean, I know John Sinclair's on about if Ivan Toney's available, if he doesn't get charged by the FA. But Ivan Toney's going to cost an awful lot of money. And that's another thing. Rafa Benitez, as much as I like him as a manager, I think he made an error there. Instead of getting rid of him, what he should have done was he should have said, right, send him on loan to League One, then send him on loan to the Championship, and then we would have had a great player on our hands. That would have only cost us £1 million. But instead, we get rid. Tony's getting a few, so has Mitro. Yeah, absolutely. Troll says someone will get a thumping, but when we need to pass our attackers faster, that's when they are really dangerous. Yeah, we're not passing it quick enough, are we? Howie, the lads need a proper goal scorer and 2 good midfielders. I think the summer I think we will be very, very busy in that summer window. I've got that feeling. Tony's a court case away from being banned. Yeah, absolutely. We just wait and see what happens with that. Howie, the lads don't want to see Lewis anywhere in the other's team and certainly doesn't warrant playing in a prestigious game. I wasn't on about the cup final, but I thought Saturday maybe, just to give Burn a break. Troll says, wasn't me, Harry. I think Bruno would be able to play with the under-23, says Harry. Yeah, I think he could do, yeah. But again, I think as long as it's not Premier League 2, he'll be all right. But yeah, I'm sure he's keeping himself fit and he'll be, like I say, he'll be training with the guys anyway, won't he? Howie, the lad says, how's Pope looking off it? Come on. No, he's just, I don't know. He just doesn't seem to have much confidence with his defence at the moment. But I think, but we'll see what happens. He's still a class goalkeeper regardless. Howie, the lad says Rafa should be, to be fair. Fair enough. He did bring us back up from the Championship first off, though. So, absolutely brilliant. Evening all, says Jody. Evening to you as well. I hope you're well. Sefton says, off we to see all, tend to get ready for work and keep the faith, people. How are you, the lads? Oh, Sefton, I bet you're pleased you're going to work because if Liverpool get beat tonight, at least you haven't got to worry about the misses. So, hey, Sefton, enjoy your evening at work. Just don't look at your phone, mate, in case, you know. Troll says, take care. Jody says, don't get me wrong, Rafa is elite manager, but I do think he made a few errors during his time selling both Tony and Mbabu. Do you know what? Mbabu hasn't looked the same. I mean, he looked great when he went abroad, but for Fulham, he's been absolutely terrible, hasn't he? Ian says, you read Tony, lad? Yeah, I'm absolutely fine, mate. How are you? Everybody talking to Jody. Rowley says, the summer will be a busy one. About 5 in and plenty out. Yeah, I think so as well, Rowley. I think there will be, mate. How are the lads? Rafa might have got us up and been a nice bloke, but he ignored the players that got him up for rubbish loans. I'm one up top negative. Yes, he did play some negative football, but he did it for a reason. I mean, we all remember that game. I think it was Man City at home. For the first half hour, we were absolutely terrible. We were just playing negative football. Once they scored, that made us open up and, you know, play the game a bit more. But I could see what he's trying to do. He didn't want to lose too many goals against the bigger teams because he had to keep us in the Premier League. Lee says, I remember when Oliver Bernard went to Darlow on loan straight into the first team when he come back to Newcastle. He was outstanding. Yes, he was. Olivier Bernard, what a player. What a player. Grandad said the defence has lacked confidence when Bruno has been absent and just shows the impact on the entire team. Yeah, absolutely. I've got a poll in the chat there, guys, so please take part in it. And before the end of the show, we will have a look at the results and see what the results of the poll throw up. I've currently got 30 watching at the moment, and I've got 15 have liked it. So please smash the like button. It really does help the channel up the search results. So just press that thumbs up button. Nice and easy. Thank you. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so, helps the channel grow. And bell notification tells you when I'm live, any upcoming shows, or any pre-record. So thank you very much indeed, guys. Currently at 370 subscribers and 30 away from 400. But, I mean, I'll just have a look at the poll now. So at the moment, the poll has said 67% of people agree that we should change our formation, and 33% are saying no, we shouldn't. So the majority at the moment is that we should be changing our formation. Troll says we shouldn't have be having this awful passing even if Bruno's out. Does not make sense to me. No, it doesn't. This is what I'm saying. With Bruno not being there, what we should be doing is thinking, right, okay, we haven't got Bruno in the team, but let's go out there and show them that we don't need Bruno in the team, not in a nasty way, but we don't need him in the team. When he's missing, we can cope without him, basically. But we're not showing that. But like we say, by the time he comes back for the final, he should be firing on all cylinders. He'll be fit. And he'd be raring to go out and matching Bruno. So it'd be absolutely brilliant. But, I mean, yes, the summer is indeed, Tony says, Trolls, yeah. Absolutely, mate. I mean, the summer, I think, is going to be a busy summer. But I do think maybe we could have done a little bit more in the transfer window in January. I mean, you know, all in all, did we miss a trick by not snapping this guy up for 8 million in January? That's all Mönchengladbach wanted for him, 8 million, because he's out of contract in the summer. He can play left wing and he can play up front. He could have brought us a few goals this season. Maybe we did miss out on that. I believe we'll go for this guy though in the summer, Maddison. I know people are saying Tottenham are in for him, but not being funny, I can see it written all over that he'll come to us rather than Tottenham. And I would hope that would be the case. So we shall see. And also in the January window, should we have stumped up the extra 5 million euros to get this guy in, Matthias França? We offered 20 million euros. The buyout clause was 25 million euros. Should we have stumped it up? Yes, I know there's a report that they wanted a 50% sell-on clause, but I think if we'd met the clause, I don't think they would have asked for a big sell-on clause like that. So, I mean, guys, what's your thoughts on the January window? Did we shop too late? Did we leave it too late? Should we have let Shelvey go? Should we have kept him? I know Shelvey said he wanted to go because, Nottingham Forest were offering a good deal, which is only right, I suppose. But give me your thoughts. So, Geordie says, I'm sure we had a similar problem when Wilson was out injured start the season. Yeah, we did. Definitely, yeah, because that's how we brought Isak in, wasn't it? Joel says, even with John Jones' squad, still we would have needed a CDM or a CM to be. Yeah, I thought we would have brought in a number 6, to be fair, in the January window, but who knows? I think when we loaned Chris Wood out, we should have made a move for Marcus Thuram instead of leaving ourselves with the only 2 strikers who are injury prone. Again, I totally agree with you, Geordie. We should have. That's the thing. I feel with Marcus Thuram, we missed out on a trick there because we could have had him in, and I think that would have been a great move, and it would have been low risk at 8 million as well. Charles says we are now short on strikers and midfielders. Not good at all. We are worse than we were. That's the thing. It's now going to show the injuries, isn't it? And it's going to show the lack of strength and depth in our squad. And this is what we've got to build up. We've got to build the bench up. We've got to build the depth of the squad up as well. And yes, that is starting to show now. And that showed against Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup when we lost. We played for a lot of players that don't play, and it just showed that we're not good enough. Alan says, we need to get rid of the dead wood in our squad and there's someone saying big. Yeah, I totally agree. Geordie says, I think the transfer window's poor letting Shelvey and Wood leave and left ourselves bare in those positions. I think we'll let Shelvey go because they were confident that somebody was coming in on transfer deadline day. Chelsea didn't want to sell Conor Gallagher to us. We pulled out the Sander Burge deal. Fulham did as well, so I don't know what's happened there. Maybe there's some sort of attitude issue with the guy or what, I do not know. But we both pulled out of them deals, and I just think we left it too late to get another midfielder. And we probably should have said to Shelvey, look, sorry, but, we can't let you go at the moment because we need you. And that's the case. That's what we should have done. But Jake says, gutted for Willock if he misses fit. Absolutely. Totally. I mean, that lad's probably in a state of shock that he's not going to the final if he is badly injured. But again, it's something we just have to wait and see. Joel says, I know we have Anderson, but I'm not confident in him as a central midfielder, as a winger for sure. Yeah, I mean, Anderson's got this is his chance to shine now, isn't it? That's the thing. So now he's got his chance. Let's see his chance to shine. Newcastle should hire the Man City accountants so they can bring a few more players in, says Grandad Shed. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I'm sure we've got the accountants there, but we just haven't, I don't know what's happening. Maybe we're just waiting until the summer. Alan says, for me, Eddie Howe must get manager of the year, Newcastle team of the year. Do you know what? I wouldn't disagree with that one bit because I think he's been absolutely brilliant. And to be where we are, 12 months on from where we were, is absolutely fantastic. Hope we don't get a right muppet ref in the final. Yeah, same here, Lee. Talking to referees, John Brooks, who disallowed Brighton's goal against Palace on Saturday, has been taken off VAR duty for tonight against Liverpool Everton. So there we go, guys. Shelvey should have been given an extended contract way before the January window, so can't blame him for leaving when there was only 6 months left. Yeah, I think he would have had to play 2 more games to trigger his 1-year extension, and he asked if he could go to Forest. I think we offered John Joe a new contract, but Forest offered more. Possibly did, yeah. And at the end of the day, he's got to think of his security. At the end of the day, probably got a couple of years left, 2 or 3 years left in the game, and then so I suppose he's got to look after himself, and that's fair enough. That's absolutely fair enough indeed. The vote at the moment is 69% say yes, we should change formation, 31% no. So if you haven't voted in the poll yet, guys, please vote in the poll. And before we end the show, we will go through the results of the poll. But I've currently got 35 watching. I've got 19 likes, so please smash those likes. It does help the channel, so smash that like button. Whether you smash it now or on your way out of the channel tonight, then smash that like. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please give it a subscribe. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much indeed, guys. I mean, who are we going to bring? I mean, I've said if we bring people in the summer, are we going to bring another striker in that would then replace Wilson in a way, but not replace him completely? So if another striker comes in, another young striker, I could see Wilson being more of a bench player next season, because Wilson's looked a bit off the pace since he come back from the World Cup. Yeah, he got his goal against West Ham, and fantastic. I'm so pleased for him because I like Callum Wilson. But I'm just wondering, is he just losing that little bit of pace now? Is he just losing that extra yard? Who knows? Craig says, Bruno getting sent off was a catalyst for this mess, not the club's decision not to sign Berge. Yeah, there was rumours that Berge wanted to stay, I think, at Sheffield United, which, if that's the case, then that's fair enough because, that's nice on the lad that he doesn't want to leave Sheffield United and he wants to try and get them back to the Premier League. So good on him. Joel says, is Isco still free? Yes, he is. We should try and offer him a 1-year contract. And this, I would say give him a contract at the end of the season, pay as you play. But then again, is our squad not gone in now? So can we really bring him in? I don't think we can. But I would have said he would have been low risk. So if you could have got, like, say, for instance, Isco on a pay-as-you-play deal till the end of the season, I think that would have made sense. But I do know, I think at Union Berlin he failed his medicals. But why, I do not know. Jody says, Maddison needs to be our main priority in the summer. Yeah, definitely. I hope we do go in and get Maddison in the summer. Craig says, if Bruno didn't get his ban, could have rested players. Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with your mate there. Absolutely. I'd like 2 midfielders, striker, winger, and a right-footed centre off in the summer. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, Rolly. Again, we'll see what the club do in the summer. It's a long way off yet, though. Joel says we don't have a lot of money, so I don't think Maddison will be the deal we go for, but I hope we do, though. I think we've got a lot of money, but I think what will happen is we'll go for Maddison in the summer because he'll only have 12 months left on his contract. So Leicester can't demand too big a fee. Lee says, could do with 2 strikers in the summer. Yeah, definitely agree with you. I mean, if Man City get all these charges thrown at them and they are guilty of them all, when you think their players could be out of contract, basically. So potentially, Holland could be on the free. Gosh, wouldn't that be great? I Like Coffee says, hi, Tony Noel. Hi, I Like Coffee. Hope you're well. Not seen you around for a while, mate. But yeah, I mean, Holland on a free, but then again, we wouldn't be the only club in from. There'd be tons of clubs in from. Lots of clubs would be wanting to grab a hold of Erling Haaland, that's for sure. But as I say, I've got a, for anybody who's just come into the chat, into the stream now, I have got a poll there on this site, so please give it a vote. Do you think we should be changing the formation? Troll says we need a young left back, so we have cover on the left. Burn isn't getting any younger. No, Burn isn't getting any younger, and that is the problem. He's going to be hitting 30, and we do need a younger left back coming into the club. It just seems, for some reason, I know Target's injured, but just seems he seems to fell out of favour with Eddie Howe, and I don't know why. Chelsea will take Haaland, says Coffee. Do you know what? They probably would. Knowing them, they would, yeah. And Mbappe. Do you know what? I don't think they could afford him because of FFP now. Alan says, I'd like to sign a defender who can play left back and right back, plus 2 midfielders and a striker. Yeah, definitely. Good shout, Alan. Good shout. I think Grandad Shed says, I think the board will have told Eddie to just do his best with the team he can afford with FFP, as he will go big in the summer when new sponsors significantly increases the club's revenue. Do you know what? That's a great shout, and that's something that I've been thinking about as well. I think the club are waiting to get the big sponsors in the summer, and then I think it'll be all systems go. It could be a great summer, and we'll keep an eye on it. And there will be plenty on this channel, so, stick with it. Jody says, could City get a Champions League ban because of FFP? If so, I think Haaland would want to play Champions League football, so wouldn't be surprised if he leaves City. That's a good point. That is a very good point, but it all depends on what happens with the Premier League inquiry. I mean, if they get kicked out of the Premier League, the EFL have already said they don't have to take Man City into the EFL. So Man City may have to go to non-league football and then work their way back up. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Let's just say the muck is really going to hit the fan here, isn't it? That's for sure. Troll says, Haaland won't go to Chelsea, he'll go to Real Madrid. Yeah, possibilities. Yeah. Jody says, I've heard a rumour Matt Target fell out with Theo Eddie as he hates playing with ESM and he doesn't track back. Who knows? But ESM has been doing a bit of tracking back lately, so I don't know. Not sure. Troll says, a new twist in blaming ESM. Craig says, if we'd signed X, Y, or Z, we'd be playing Champions League wages for 6 months and have wages on the books we could do without. Do you know what? That's a fantastic point, Craig. Absolutely well said, mate. Yes, definitely. Because what happens if we bring somebody in, we pay big bucks for them, bring them in on big bucks, and then we don't make the Champions League? That is well said, mate. That is very well said. And I'll store your comment because that's absolutely fantastic, mate. Lee says, Chelsea just got a new team coach, triple-decker bus. Yeah, do you know what? That doesn't surprise me. It's just absolutely ridiculous, the players they have brought in. And this is a thing I've been saying for the past couple of weeks now. I would love it if Chelsea, at the end of the season, do not finish anywhere in that top 7. Because I want to see how these players will react next season at Stamford Bridge when they have got no European football whatsoever, whether it's Champions League or Europa League Conference. When they've got no European football, because they won't win the Champions League this season, that's for sure. But when they've got no football at all, no European football, how are these players going to react? The likes of Enzo Fernandez, your Badia Shields. Fair enough, your Joe Felix won't be there because he'll be gone back to Atletico Madrid. It's going to be really, really interesting. And it's one that everybody will look back and have a good laugh at Chelsea, because I'll tell you now, they will never get 107 million back for Enzo Fernandez. Craig says, Chelsea could make Leeds' troubles look like a blip. Yeah, definitely, totally agree. Alan says, FFP, what about Man U? How much money they have spent? I hope they get relegated. Yeah, well, I think they're safe now, so I don't think they'll get relegated this season. I Like Coffee says, Chelsea's dressing room won't be big enough, so players will have to use the one stand of Stamford Bridge. It's going to get that way, Coffee, innit? Jody says, I'd love to see both Chelsea and Liverpool not getting into European football come May, because it would be interesting to see how the big name players react. That's the thing, yeah. The minute they might not even make a European place because the teams above them are doing well. Brighton's playing well. Brentford are playing well. So, yeah, they may not make it. Had enough of people blaming ASM no matter what, and no, haven't seen that from anyone here, but it's starting to really annoy me, even though when he plays, but people pick on him. Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that. And what we've got to remember is he hasn't had a lot of football, so he's another one that's coming back into fitness. And I just want to see the ESM who's unplayable. And that's what I want to see. I want to see the unplayable ESM again. The one we saw against Man City, the way he ripped Kel Walker to bits. I want to see that ESM back. But I don't just want to see it in one game. I want to see it on a consistent basis. It's not good doing it 1 in 10. I want to see it consistently. Jody says, 100% agree with you, trolls. And Ali Coffee says, John's favourite defender could be on his way out. Oh, Koulibaly. Oh, cooler liability. Yeah, I mean, he's not a Premier League defender. I know John keeps saying, oh, he's a cracking defender. Yes, but that is in Serie A. That is in a different league to the Premier League. And Koulibaly now is 30 plus. And so in terms of age, Napoli got rid. Napoli did what they did best, get rid of players before they get too old and get good money for them. Gary says Chelsea and Forest could share the triple-decker bus. Yeah, absolutely, Gary. Grandad shared, Man City will get off for technicality with the charges in the same way they overturned the ban in Europe, even though they had been found guilty. Again, yeah, it's one of them, but we're going to have to just wait and see what happens with that one. Craig says, I feel for Potter. He hadn't got the grips with the squad. Didn't know his best 11. Bowley signed a dozen players without addressing sides' needs. Potter doesn't stand a chance. Again, yeah, I see where you're coming from on that end. But Graham Potter's starting to look like he's a big-time manager. But if he got sacked from Chelsea and he went to a more mid-table team, then I don't think he'd be the quite cocksure guy that he thinks he is now because he's at Chelsea. UFC, stop asking the SN to come back. Fair players don't defend. They're there to score and assist, not core players who can't defend. Defenders on the back foot and covers players in CDM. That's fair enough. Jody says, I want to see a consistent ESM like we had at the start of the season. He had manager Pep Guardiola calibre concerned. Yeah, definitely. And Pep Guardiola, out of the big six, was the only manager to actually give us a compliment. Ten Hag sort of did give us one, but more it was Pep Guardiola because he said this was a difficult place to come this season. He said he says himself and Eddie have both had teams playing attacking great football. He says not for just the fans in the stadium, but the people on TV. He said, and this is a great point for City. For Pep Guardiola to say that was a great point for City, that just shows you how well we played and how much respect he showed us. Troll says, would like to see consistency from Willock. He is in and out of the game all the time. Not against Willock, just need to see the shape up. Yeah, definitely. Coffee says, cracking defender. That's why they're cracks in their defence. Yeah, definitely. He doesn't play much, does he, though? Trolls agrees with NUFC. Craig says, I want to see ESM produce. His record isn't any better than Almiron before his transformation. Unless he produces goals and assists regular, he's a sure pony. Yeah, I totally agree. Liverpool are the new Wimbledon, says Alan. Dirty team in the Premier League, including Klopp. Yeah, definitely. Grandad said Chelsea are the only team in the league with 3 numbers on the back of their shirts. Yeah, it's getting that way, isn't it? It's absolutely getting that way. Right, so the poll is coming to an end now, guys. And so the poll is saying 66% voted that we should change the formation, and 34% said we shouldn't change the formation. So the majority are saying that we should change formation. It all depends how far we want to change the formation. But again, we'll see. We'll see what happens from that one. But yeah. So I'll just go to some comments. But thank you for voting in that poll, by the way, guys. Absolutely fantastic. I like Coffee says, only thing clean about Liverpool are Klopp's teeth. Yeah, definitely. 3-1 win for us against Liverpool, says Lee. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. I want to see if I can get a Liverpool fan on this week for a preview. Paul says, ASM struggled with these teams who defend deep against a slow Liverpool side, and Trent, I reckon we would have a great game. Yeah, he probably would, because Trent Alexander-Arnold isn't the greatest, is he? Everybody's targeting him. Great show. Thanks very much, trolls. LA Coffee says, unfortunately, I feel we've made the Liverpool game difficult for us. Could be a draw or a 1-0 win to that team. Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Troll says, we let teams defend deep by playing 100 passes around our defence. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that as well. ESM will roast Trent, says Alan. Yes, he will. Definitely. And UFC says, you know how long it takes to set a team in a formation? 3 months. So how do you think we can just change it and win some? We need to wake up. Yeah, that's your opinion. So there we go, guys. Right, guys. So we're coming to the end of the show now. But yes, it's been a great debate on have we been found out yet? But guys, if you like what you see, then please smash the like button. It really does help the channel up the search results. So I've currently got 23 likes, so smash it on your way out there. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. That is free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. So I'm on the way to 400 subscribers. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you to each and every one of you who have subscribed so far. It really does mean a lot. Paul says, I mean, look what ASM did to Walker. Absolutely ripped Walker to bits. LA Coffee, bye Tony Noel. Bye LA Coffee. See you again, mate. Lee says, Isak will get another goal against Liverpool. Yeah, I wouldn't rule that one out, that's for sure. Craig says, when Everton leave Goodison, will Liverpool move in? They did when Everton left Anfield. Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? Be hilarious. Liverpool playing at the Gladys Street end. Alan says, keep up the good work, Tony. Thank you very much, Alan. Great show. Yeah, absolutely, Alan. Thank you very much. Yeah, indeed. So, guys, that's been a great debate tonight, and thank you for watching. I mean, it's been absolutely fantastic. Everybody's thoughts and opinions in the chat, as always, is absolutely brilliant. But what's brilliant more is you viewers coming on to watch this as well. And, so whatever you're doing for the rest of the evening, if you're watching the game later, enjoy the match. Let's hope we see maybe Everton beat Liverpool in a way, and we will see what happens. I like Coffee says, I'd like to see Gordon unleashed against Liverpool. Do you know what? That's going to be fantastic. Love to see him score as well. Paul says, as long as we aren't sloppy in possession like the past couple of games, I think we'll beat Liverpool. Do you know what, Paul? I do as well. I think we're going to turn it on. And Lee says, Tony the Toon Legend. Thank you very much, Lee. Thank you, mate. Thank you. But yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever you're doing. And I will see you again on the next show. And until then, guys, enjoy the evening and bye-bye for now. Bye-bye, guys.